Welcome back to the gravel review series. We've actually got a new bike launch. It actually came out yesterday, but today we're talking about it for the first time here on Slow Twitch. Ventum has come out with the new GS1. It's their second version of the bike. I gotta say, I love the first version. There were some things that I didn't love about the first version altogether, but they fixed 95% of my issues with the first version with the second version. Really, at the end of the day, what is massively different on this version versus the last version is tire clearance. There she is, the original version of the GS1. I've had it for a couple of years now. Did a great review on it a couple of years ago. Highly recommend that you watch it. Get a better understanding of the differences between the original GS1 versus the new one that we are going over today. Just to kind of help you out moving forward. If you see the pink bike, it's the version 1. If you see the green looking bike, it's version 2. Differences in the head tube and how they've got that, pulled down a little bit, the seat stays and the seat clamps. So, one of the things with the original Ventum is how they had the seat clamp on top of the seat tube embedded. It would always get stuck, and you'd have to do that wiggle thing, with the actual saddle to get that thing knocked loose in order for you to adjust your seat height. And that was always kind of a pain in the butt with that. And so this version, they've definitely fixed that. They've put it on the inside. They've added 2 adjustable bolts on the bottom, which is super helpful. And so when you need to adjust your seat, height, it makes it super easy to do. So we were down in St. George. We wanted to do way more riding than we were able to, which was kind of a bummer. Headed down to St. George, the weather seemed like it was going to be great, and then all of a sudden, this big cold front came through the northern part of Utah and Idaho, and it brought these just devastating St. George hurricane winds. Which kind of ruined a couple of days that we had to ride. Usually I'm not that big of a wimp when it comes to, riding, but when you've got 50, 60 mile an hour gusts and it's, high of 39 degrees, the temperature then feels like it's 15, and we just weren't prepared with the type of clothing that we needed to go out there and do. The drone was acting all crazy funny, and so, when you see DJ, who is modeling the bike on some of these rides, look at his face, because he is a champ as far as trying to muster up the ability to ride in what was felt like 28, 29 degrees weather with very little sun when we were out there riding. But with that said, thoroughly impressed with the bike. I was great. It was great to see some basic innovation when it came to this new version of a bike. This would be a similar case of when I would want to use 650 wheels, when you're on that really long stretch of gravel road with all those little tiny bumps. You're just able to have a fatter tire, and truth be told, we probably didn't have the tire pressure right. We probably could have went way lower on this particular part of the road, but still getting kind of used to what tires actually fit on this bike and what the pressure is. But this would be a great example of where you would use 650s and like a 50-52 versus a 700 45, 48 or whatever. You're just going to get more cushion when you're on those long bike packing trips, or when you're just trying to go out for 8 or 9 hours on a bike and you just don't want to get beat up all that well. There's this weird stigma in gravel that everything has to be performance gravel based, and I get it. Like, I understand that you've got cyclists that are out there and they're professional cyclists and they've got to win and they've got to be fast, but at the same time, I just don't see the majority of people that are doing gravel really care about that. Because Ventum chooses to go with a proprietary seat post, you can't really put a seat drop in there, which is kind of a bummer. I really wish that they would. I wish that they would just go to the round traditional seat post that I can change my seat posts out. I could put a dropper post in there if I wanted to. Now I probably am going to give this a 9.5 out of 10. There's still a couple of things that I would have loved to see. For example, the bottom bracket chain stays still, in my opinion, could have been widened a little bit. I would have loved to be able to have a clearance of a 54, 56 wheel. I think they could have done it. I just think they sold themselves short on the ability to do so. I want a bike that I can go pretty much anywhere on, because that's the joy of gravel riding. I can be on a road, paved road, I can be cruising along, and all of a sudden I can see this trail, and now I can go hit that trail. And to me, that's the adventure of gravel. And so this new bike, this GS1, has done that and enabled us to pretty much go anywhere that we want when it comes to dirt. All right, that's it. Thank you for watching our review. If you liked what you saw today, put it in the comments. If you want to see other things in the future, put it in the comments. Make sure you subscribe and tell your friends about it.